How on a day, my beautiful and amazing people. I salute you according to our time, or depending on when that they listen to us. I welcome you to this beautiful day with another bongalicious information, my people. Now, well done. My people, now welcome. Let the heri wait with the heri. Wonder shall never end. At this time that you, the Doche, is writing about November 16th, which is today, and some other things that are happening within. I bring you a message that a prophet said last few days ago about Yul and Judy, Judy Austin, and Pime. I actually don't want to, relate this message before, but I think because of the trend of event, that's why I want to bring it the way it is right now. There is a prophecy moving around. When I know say since Judy Austin and Yul and Judy issue come up, there were so many things that have happened. I remember the time we used to hear of the Ghana seer. That Ghana seer used to bring so many prophecies at a point. The Ghana seer stopped, and because people started sabotaging the voice of that man, and he would give one prophecy, people will manipulate the prophecy and turn it to their own bidding in order to have views on social media. And sometimes we hear that a lot of people are also threatening the guy and everything. Actually, I don't know what happened. We don't hear from that Ghana seer. But I will tell you that personally, one of the things that made me to stop, relating any issue about prophecy on my channel is because of many things that happened within that Ghana seer at that time. I just said because at a point people started losing their faith on that on the message, and the potency of the message is no longer, there people, the message started losing potency, and a lot of people started doubting. In fact, so many things happened about that prophecy from the Ghana seer, and that's what made a lot of us just pull out and concentrate on what we are seeing online. Because actually, all this seers, prophecy is not what we need. Actually, what we need are practical things, and what we need are how Pime will get her divorce and go. That's just what is important to me. Is how the court on 24th of this month should sit and declare the marriage null and void, sign it, give it to Pime, and she goes. Then any other person that sees anything relating Pime and Jude Edochie should be asking them questions, because I think Pime by now should be fed up with all this back and front issue, back and front talk, like Judy Austin's insult on social media, Judy Austin's cohorts insult on social media. As we can see, a lot of them standing up every day insulting Pime, especially this cheap Jenny and Yinka. Every time anything that scratches them, they remember Pime. Anything anybody says against them, they say it's Pime that's in the person. Especially Yinka, anything that Yinka hears from anybody that claims to be May Nation, na Pime send them. To the extent that Chief Jenny even have the audacity to say that Pime's friend and supporter was extorting money from people. You understand? And that he had been caught. You know, that kind of insult and that kind of embarrassment. When you look at Pime and see what she's controlling, and see the kind of wealth around her, and see how God has made her wealthy within a few years, and you still know, you can remember, or you can realize why these guys are so jealous of Pime, and why the hatred on Pime. And what happened is that every negative thing they see that happened around, the person becomes a supporter of Pime, and the person becomes Pime's a friend. Imagine Chip Jenny saying that on social media. And just look at it. I was so angry, but there's something we can say. But in a situation like this, where we begin to hear so many things happening, we know that actually these people are bent to see how they can rubbish the image and the reputation of Pime. They have tried this several, it does not work. Why is it that they are failing? They don't know. Like I always tell people, there is something that Socrates said. Socrates said an unexamined life is not worth living. When you are living any life, you need to check yourself every time to know whether the life you are living is worth living or not. Examine it and check whether it represents what you are, it represents who you are, and it represents what you're professing. An unexamined life actually is not worth living. So that is what Socrates said, and that's what I always refer to as the problem of Judy Austin and all her supporters, is because they are living a life that are not examined. So, my people, they say there is this man that you see on this video. There is this man they call the prophet that has come to send Yul Edochie and Judy Austin a serious warning, saying that in the recent time, in the next few months, that so much is going to happen in their lives. So much is going to happen that people will shout and say, "What is actually happening to these people?" The prophet says that, according to them, that the prophet says that there are so much things happening around these people that are being powered by some spirits that feeds on emotional instability, that feeds on disgrace, that feeds on backwardness. These are kind of spirits that he sees around Judy and Yudedoche, that what we are seeing now is going to be a child's play to what is going to happen in the near future. They said even though Yul and Judy are trying to pretend about this whole thing, are trying to pretend, showing as if there is nothing happening, that they are okay, but that nothing is okay. That time will come very soon that Yul and Judy will be showing people as if they have united back again. They are okay, they are good, but that in a very small time, when people must have believed that, these people have come back again, and we said it, they are playing games. I say another one will strike them hard in a way that even to find their pieces will be so difficult. And that he is giving you the Doche and Judy Austin very serious warning to be careful with the way they relate to to their environment, careful with who they bring in to attack anybody, that you should leave this fight of premier alone. And they should also tell their supporters to be very careful to talk about only things that promotes them and promotes their business, but to leave any dragging on the on Queen, because that any dragging on Queen is will attract so much problem and so much pain to them, adding up to what they are seeing, because that Queen is seen spiritually as a woman protected and packaged inside a very divine grace, and that no matter what you do, both spiritual and physical, it will be very difficult to hurt this woman, because it is a woman that is not operating with ordinary physical power, ordinary power that anybody can see, but there is this spiritual force, this heavy force that no one can touch. There is this hand that no one can reach that is protecting and carrying her, and that this hand had made it difficult spiritually for Yul Edochie and Judy Austin to near her. That no matter how many soldiers they recruit to fight this woman, that all those soldiers will be disgraced one after by another. That none of those soldiers will succeed, because this woman is protected inside a pot of grace that no one can touch. And when you look at this thing, you will now come to realize that this is actually the doom of Judy Austin and Yul Edochie. Their doom has been their constant attack on Pime, constant dragging of Pime, and everybody they brought to join them to attack Pime had at a point, in one way or the other, had serious problem, and we still dump them. I remember this prophecy reminds me of Sarah Martins, because Sarah Martins was fighting Pime with all her might, with all the thing, every opportunity she had, thinking that she was doing the right thing, fighting for Judy, working with Judy as against Pime. But all of a sudden, when what she could not explain hit her, when the situation was no longer firm, she saw how she failed in everything, lost everything, and things were going down for her. She now realized that it might be that she's dragging the wrong person. And there was this revelation she had, showing her that you're on a wrong path, and that's why you are failing. And if you don't desist and stop what you're doing against an innocent woman, your own part will be shattered and disgraced, and nobody will ever walk close to you to assist you, and nobody will ever come to you for any help or to even to bless you. So when she realized it and dropped the support she had on Judy and Yul Edochie and starts apologizing to Pime, she get back her life, she get back her fame, she get back her promotion, everything returned back. I think Sarah Martin is an example of this. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Esther Sky and some other people that have also experienced serious problem by dragging Pime without understanding what is happening. I think if this prophecy is something to go by, the prophet is telling Yul Edochie and Judy Austin to stop recruiting more people to drag this woman, because the more people you recruit to drag her, the more disgrace you put in the life of those people, and the more people you put into problem. That this woman called Pime is not just walking ordinarily, but there is a divine power following her, and there's a divine power covering her. And this is why so many of these embarrassment are coming on the side of Yul Edochie. Remember, the prophet says that Yul and Judy are attacked by a spirit that feeds on disgrace, emotional imbalance, disgrace, emotional problems, and backwardness. And these are the things that you see that the life of Judy and Yul every day, every time. If you watch them, you see that these things are actually at work in their life. He says that the prophet has a particular attention on Judy Austin. The message of the prophet rather has a particular attention on Judy Austin. He said that Judy Austin are going to face a lot of confusions in recent times, because there is this thing that happens to Judy Austin, that Judy Austin carries a stamp on her face, and that looks to people like a blessing outside, but it is a very big disgrace and confusion inside. He said Judy Austin will be in a very serious turmoil of disgrace and confusion, even when outside her supporters will still be clapping for her and telling people that she is progressing, because very soon it will look as if she's progressing, but deep down she's deteriorating every day, emotionally deteriorating with confusion, deteriorating with uncertainty, deteriorating with disgrace, deteriorating with with all sort of disappointment of herself, because she couldn't believe that everything she planned for herself will come to the stage where she is, and that these things happen on the day that Judy Austin jumped into another person's house and begin to scandalize it. He said Yul Edochie has a very serious issue, because you had a crack on his wall the day he offended the woman and the family that he has first. The day he broke the marriage vow was the day he opened a crack on his wall. And that crack is being dragged open by those who are supporting him and supporting Judy Austin. The more they give him false narrative, the more they present false narrative to support him, the more they chook their hand inside the crack on his wall to drag it open, and thereby making ways for a lot of things to flow into the life of Yul Edochie. And that is why Yul has a lot of opposition wherever he goes, that it is very difficult for you to be in any location without having one or two issues with people. Right now, that it will be very difficult for you to go to a location and got exactly the contract that he wants, the way he wants it, that something must happen. Things must go wrong small. That it is very difficult for you to have 3-4 weeks work without getting issue with people, and that he keeps having issues every day, only that people are not saying it. He said there is this crack on his wall, and this has affected him so much, and this crack brings disgrace and backwardness to him. He said Judy Austin, he will face serious emotional trauma, and that anybody who knows Judy should please stay close to Judy within this time, because if there is nobody close to Judy, and that something fearful that he's seeing may come to happen to Judy Austin. He said these things are not born out of anything, but this is what he is seeing spiritually. That there is a problem between Yul and Judy, even when they are covering it. And the prophet comes to say there are souls who are supporting Yul and Judy, who knows what is happening to them, who Judy and Yul tells the truth about their true situation. But the problem that they have is that they have surrounded themselves with false people, with wrong people that cannot stand up and tell them the truth. And that's the situation on ground in their life. And because they don't have anybody who tells them the real truth, and that their issues are becoming worse every day. Every day. He said on the part of Pime that no matter how the people increased to attack her, that nothing is going to happen to her. That rather, in recent time, that Premier is going to have, that May Yud Edoche is going to have so many blessings around her and so many people coming to bless her. Physical blessings, destiny helpers, a lot of people will surround her to give her blessing. But on the other hand, it will infuriate the other people who will try to rubbish the blessing by saying that these people, they are just pushing her to doom, but rather they themselves are the ones that are living and existing inside doom. He said that that Nigerians should get ready for a turn of event, that very soon, because of the kind of thing that will be happening to Queen May, that these people will try to make out some blessings, organize some blessings for themselves, which people will shout and say, wow, you see, they have started progressing. He said, but very soon, their progress will not last because it will go down. He said, a time will come when Judy and Yud will struggle to fix themselves back in the society. They will struggle to make sure that people accept them, and they will try to give up on some certain things, that even to the extent that Yul and Judy may try to separate, do as if there is nothing they are doing together. But that will be a child's play to the consequence it will attract in their lives. He said, because at the time they feel that they are deceiving the masses, will be the time that calamity will strike, that they need to go and work on themselves, because the spirit that is fighting them is not a spirit of fame. That is where they are getting it wrong. At all the sacrifices and this thing Judy Austin family are doing is to push up the fame of you, the Duchy and Judy, so that they will become famous again. But that the spirit that fights against Judy and you are not the spirit of, or not anti-fame spirit. Rather, it is a spirit that feeds on emotional imbalance, that feeds on disgrace, and that feeds on backwardness. And as long as they have left whatever that causes them emotional imbalance, whatever that brings shame and reproach and disgrace upon them, and whatever that brings that backwardness on them, he said they will never win the battle, because the battle is not for the swift, the battle is not for the strong, but that it is of the Lord that showeth mercy. And because the Lord has removed his mercy from their side, that the mercy of God does not reach them, that they need to reintegrate them back, reintegrate themselves back into God, to give them that shield that God gives and protects his own. That until that happens, that there is a serious problem for them in the house. Why? Because the powers that are fighting them are working strongly every day against them without even them knowing. That even now, God is ready to save them if only they will repent from their sins. People are shouting, say, when will this negative thing on you, the Duchy, stop? When will you, the Duchy, again experience favor, blessing, and breakthrough? Because you, the Duchy, used to be a darling of so many people. And since he went and dragged a woman, a strange woman, a devourer to himself, a lot of things are happening. And some concerned people are now thinking, how long will you's case end? How long will you fall back again into pecking order? How long will you become the person that, a lot of people used to love him and support him because of his action way of playing his role in the movie. But now, this strange woman has catalyzed everything. This strange woman has put him in a very serious mess. and people are saying, if what the prophet is saying is true, how is Yul Edochie going to be restored? Because recently, many people are beginning to think of how to assist Yul Edochie get back into him, into who he is, than how to be able to settle the case he had with Pime. Everybody knows that Pime cannot go back to Yul Edochie again. And everybody believes that Pime had made up her mind, which is the right decision to take, that she will stay on her own, get her divorce, and move on with her life. So now, why should calamity always be falling on Yul Edochie? Just committing only one sin, and he didn't know the gravity of the sin. What he committed is haunting him, breaking the marriage that a woman loves so much, cherishes so much, enjoys so much. Even the kids in the marriage are so happy to have been in such a union. But all of a sudden, somebody wake up one morning and scandalize everything they have built together. And that is a serious issue right now that is happening. Our royal queen is a blessed woman, and that's why God stands her back every time. Now, Judy and Yul has serious issue. Anytime a prophecy came, the prophecy will tell you that even if you seems to things are very okay with them now, that all you're seeing is pretense. This is not the first person that was talking about so many things that will happen to you. Or this is not the first person that have said or identified that Yul is covered with a very negative spirit that divorce whatever he makes. That wherever Yul goes, Yul Edochie, wherever he goes and whatever he does, he will always see disgrace as if his second name is now disgrace. And some concerned people are saying what is going to be done to rescue Yul Edochie from the hand of Judy Austin. And I come begin to ask, why are people crying more than they believe? Has Yul Edochie seek opportunity on how to save himself? Has Yul Edochie come to beg and say, please, what shall I do in order to be released from the grip of Judy Austin? Yul Edochie already knows that Judy Austin and her family are not Christians. They are diabolic people. They are Ezemine. They know what they do. They get their power from Dimini, and they know that anytime, any day, they can decide to go back to Dimini to get more powers. And that is why whenever they see anybody that carries a very strong spiritual power, they tend to be close to you. They tend to accept you. They tend to be loyal and submissive to you. Not because that is their nature, but because they needed to fortify the one they have. They needed to empower themselves and renew their powers every time. Anybody they see that is bright, they have a bright future, they tend to go close to the person to quench your light. Not that they want to quench it, but they actually wanted to do an exchange, and which they have not succeeded in doing, because all through their life they have been failing in everything. My people no be smart, you know. The prophecy on Yul and Judy is just coming according to how it's said. You know, today Yul said he's going to drop a bombshell. That's why I'm bringing this prophecy out to us so that we'll understand that the band said no matter how things are presented to be okay with them, no matter how they pretentiously design things to make things look beautiful, that they are deteriorating spiritually, both emotionally. Both Judy and Yul are in a very bad state of deterioration, emotional deterioration, and that if nothing is done quick, that they will just mess themselves up one day by falling yakata in a way that people won't even recognize them. That serious things are happening, that Yul Edochie left gold for clay, and that is why his situation is the way it is. He said that those who support me should pray for her, because May is highly blessed and carry high grace, and because of that, a lot of enemies will come on her way, but she is surmount them and she will go higher in life. That where that woman is going to, it will be very difficult for people of her age and her time and her generation to be able to reach there. My people no be sport, you know. Now so they just reach out table and say make a touch light and wait on. Like and share this video, and God will bless you. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please try to do so. All our returning subscribers will say, well, now well done. My people now welcome. Make you have a nice day. Bye.